will come to consistent airflow for a large number of occupants, especially when there are resident crews that will begin to occupy the station, and up to 10 people will be joined together during docked mated operations. The shuttle will be pumping air through the station, even though the station components, the Zvezda service module, the U.S. laboratory Destiny, and other pressurized volumes to follow will be providing their own air production capability. The air quality inside both Unity and the Zarya module are reported to be in very good shape. Jim Halsell reported that the temperatures, the carbon dioxide levels, and the purification quality of the air was good and well within limits. The environmental systems officer here in Mission Control and the flight surgeon here in the Mission Control Center concurred that the air appeared to be good, and air samples were taken for return back to Earth and analysis by the flight surgeon teams here in Houston. Altitude for which the service module will reach it, and the International Space Station will dock to the
Houston, we have a request. We'd like you to use the video camera and show us the ducting.
Okay, stand by.
this view of a portion of the air ducting inside the Zarya module. This view being provided to Russian flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center outside Korolyov. The view showing how the ducting is strung through the two compartments of the Zarya module. Again, the forward compartment is the pressurized adapter. The rear compartment, where most of the electrical maintenance work will take place, is the instrumentation cargo compartment.
Houston Station, how was that video? Did you get what you wanted to see?
Station Houston, we're talking about it. We'll get back to you in a minute.
Okay. Yes, Lisa, I understand that they expect a green muffler on the STS-101 fan. Hold on.
That's a good copy.
The Russian...
We think we've already done that. We'll come back and point it out to you.
Thank you, Susan.
The Russian flight control team.
And this is the muffler that is on the STS-101 fan. Directly underneath my hand here is the fan itself.
Station Houston, that looks good. We're going to get back to you in a minute as far as if we can proceed.
Okay. And Lisa, here it comes. And this muffler was actually in place when we arrived.
We copy. It was in place. Thanks. The video's a little dark, but we can see it now.
There is a cooling fan inside the Zarya module that is covered by that muffler to reduce any noise from the fan itself while it's operating. That muffler has been in place all along, and the Russian flight control team wanted to make sure that it in fact was in the correct configuration.
And Lisa, is it possible for Yuri to talk directly to Moscow, just to talk with them to see if they have any questions?
Thanks. That's good news.
Thanks, Rod.
Again, Commander Jim Halsell reporting no evidence of any fungal growth behind any of the panels or stowed bags in the Zarya module. This is going to be a frequent inspection task for resident space station crews and visiting shuttle assembly crews in upcoming missions to ensure that the environmental conditions on board all of the modules of the space station are very clean and very healthy for the crew members on board. Had any evidence of fungal growth been found, a fungistat kit was available to be used to treat the area, and a sample would have been taken to bring back to Earth for inspection. However, as Halsell reported, all of the areas behind stowed bags and panels in the Zarya module are clean and free of fungal growth.
Station, Susan and Yuri and Jim Bob.
Chris, referencing item 332, we are not able to stow them both in the bag that goes in ACO4. We do have the half bag that the old one was stowed in, and so if we can find a location for a half bag, we'd be all set.
Copy all, Mary Ellen. Let us look at it.
Weber reporting from the Space Hab module that she is finding a stowage location for an old voltage converter that was a component removed a year ago by the STS-96 crew and temporarily stowed inside the Zarya module. That was brought back to the shuttle side of the house and will be stowed for its return back to Earth. This view in the instrumentation cargo compartment, the rear portion of the Zarya module shows pilot Scott Horowitz. Behind him is the hatch, Mark Ferring, that will lead ultimately to the docking port for the service module, and ultimately that hatch will be opened, allowing crew members to float from the service module into Zarya.
And we're really looking forward to that moment, Rob.
In the final stages of cleaning up and inspecting the connections for the battery, the charge-discharge device, and the voltage converter device for this first battery set. They again have spent now a little over an hour on this first battery set. About an hour and a half have been timelined for each electrical maintenance procedure, both tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night.
abort sequence, either to fly by or back off from the spacecraft that the Zarya is approaching. So it's a very complicated piece of software and equipment, but they've been using it for a number of years and very successfully.
So following this week's work, Zarya will have all of its electrical systems up and running and back to normal. That is the hope by the flight control teams here in Houston and in Moscow. We are now going back towards the Unity module, where Commander Jim Halsell and Mission Specialist Jeff Williams are working to install equipment and to make sure that all of the Unity components are in good working order. Unity, the large connecting area to which other modules will be attached through a variety of radial docking ports that are located around the circumference of that module. Jim Voss now carrying the camera back through the pressurized adapter, the forward section of the Zarya control module. This air ducting and fans with mufflers over those fans leading.
Keeps the adapter now going into the FGB. I'll pan around and let everybody take a look at what's here right now, and then we'll go back into the FGB. As you can see, Jeff had taken off his shirt because it was pretty warm in the nose when we started. It's just now dropped down in temperature enough. He said he was probably going to put his shirt back on now.
Station, Houston's watching.
The camera now back inside the instrumentation cargo compartment, the guts of the Zarya control module, where pilot Scott Horowitz watches over the work being done by Susan Helms and Yuri Usachov. Again, when the astronauts are awakened on Tuesday evening for their second evening of work inside the International Space Station, one of the first tasks for the crew will be the first of 3 consecutive nights of reboost of the International Space Station. In all, over the course of 3 nights, 2 hours and 39 minutes of reboost time is planned. The first evening will involve 27 pulses of the reaction control system jets to raise the overall altitude of the station by about 28 statute miles. This will put the International Space Station in the proper altitude for a slight decay of its altitude, so that in July, when the Zvezda service module is launched, it will be launched into the appropriate trajectory and altitude to meet the International Space Station for a docking 2 weeks after its launch. The first reboost maneuver again is planned on Tuesday evening.
Houston, minus, here comes the item 1 for SVS.